My wife's assistant texted her during the family reunion, "Missing you this morning. Can't wait to replace your boring husband." As she gave her speech about family values, I connected her phone to the event's projector, and she went pale. The annual Patterson family reunion in Detroit was always a grand affair, but this year felt different. As I sat in the hotel's beautifully decorated conference room, gently rocking my 3-month-old son Jamie in my arms, I watched my wife Nora rehearsing her acceptance speech for the family's Legacy Award. The irony of her receiving an award for upholding family values wasn't lost on me, especially after what I discovered on her phone that morning. My name is Shane. And at 31, I thought I had it all. A successful marriage, a beautiful baby, and a place in one of Detroit's most respected families. Nora was the golden girl of Patterson Industries, following in her mother's footsteps as vice president of operations. Everyone praised us as the perfect couple, and I believed it too, until her phone buzzed during breakfast. She'd left it on the hotel room's desk while showering, and I normally wouldn't have looked. But the preview notification caught my eye. "Missing you already. Last night was incredible." From someone named Ken P., executive assistant. With trembling hands and Jamie sleeping in his carrier, I'd opened her phone. Her password was still our wedding date, something she'd apparently forgotten to change. What I found made my stomach turn. Hundreds of messages, photos, and even a planned trip to the Bahamas, all with Ken Parker, her new assistant. Now, watching her practice her speech about family loyalty and traditional values, I felt an eerie calm settle over me. The conference room's AV system was already set up for her presentation, including a large projector screen and the hotel's state-of-the-art video conferencing system. As an IT project manager, I understood exactly how these systems worked. "Shane, dear," my mother-in-law Patrick called out, approaching with his perfectly coiffed hair and society smile, "is everything ready for Nora's speech? This award means so much to the family." "Almost," I replied, adjusting Jamie's blanket. "Just need to check the technical setup one last time." Patrick beamed. "You're always so thorough. We're blessed to have you in the family." If he only knew what his precious daughter had been up to with her assistant, but he would soon enough. I'd noticed Ken's online status change to available on Nora's phone. Right on schedule, he was probably expecting their usual morning video call. I stood up, placing Jamie in his grandfather's eager arms. "Would you mind watching him for a moment? I need to help Nora with the presentation setup." The conference room buzzed with activity as extended family members took their seats. Nora's younger brother Nick was adjusting the flowers on the podium, while her mother Roberta, CEO of Patterson Industries, reviewed her introduction speech. The irony of them all preparing to celebrate Nora's integrity wasn't lost on me. I approached the AV control panel, Jamie's soft coos still audible from where he sat with Patrick. "Just double-checking the connections," I told the hotel's technician with a smile, watching her finish the setup. My IT background made the next steps crystal clear. The system was ready for any incoming video calls to display automatically on the main screen. Nora's phone buzzed again in my hand. Another message from Ken. "Can't wait for our morning check-in, beautiful. I have a surprise for you, smiley face." I looked up at my wife, who was now greeting elderly relatives with that charming smile I'd once fallen for. She had no idea I'd seen their plans, how they'd discussed using her family connections to start their own company, how they'd laughed about me being too busy with the baby to notice anything. "5 minutes until we start," Roberta announced, her voice carrying the authority of someone used to running board meetings. "Shane, is everything set with the presentation?" "Almost perfect," I replied, keeping my voice steady. "Just need Nora's phone to connect for the slideshow." Nora walked over, straightening her necklace. "Here you go, honey," she said, handing me her phone without a second thought. "You're always better with the technical stuff." I connected her phone to the system, knowing that Ken would be calling any minute for their morning meeting. The same morning meeting that had been happening every day at 10 a.m., while I was busy with pediatrician appointments and client calls. "Everyone, please take your seats," Patrick called out, still holding Jamie. "We're about to celebrate a very special member of the Patterson family." The lights dimmed slightly, and Nora took her place at the podium. Roberta stepped up to begin her introduction, speaking about family legacy and the importance of moral character in business. I sat in the front row next to Patrick and Jamie, watching the small indicator light on the AV panel turn green. Ken was right on schedule. His incoming video call would connect any second now. Nora cleared her throat, preparing to accept her award, completely unaware that her carefully constructed world was about to shatter. "The Patterson name has always stood for integrity," Roberta was saying, her voice filled with pride. "And no one exemplifies our values better than my daughter, Nora." The large screen behind them suddenly flickered to life. Ken's face appeared, his blonde hair artfully tousled, wearing what was clearly not appropriate office attire. The entire room froze, clearly not realizing he was broadcasting to a room full of people. "Missing you already, that quick meeting in your office this morning wasn't nearly enough," Ken purred. Nora's face drained of color. She spun around, finally seeing the screen, then turned back to stare at me in horror. I met her gaze steadily, bouncing Jamie gently on my knee. "I thought we could discuss those plans to break away from your mother's company," Ken continued, adjusting his camera. "I've already started reaching out to some of Patterson Industries' clients. They're very interested in what we have to offer." Patrick's hand flew to his mouth. Roberta's expression hardened as she heard her company's name. The room was dead silent except for Ken's voice and Jamie's quiet coos. "Your husband's obviously too busy with the baby to notice anything," Ken laughed. And once we get your family's main investors on board, Ken, stop. Nora finally managed to croak out. He froze, finally noticing the background behind her. His eyes widened as he took in the conference room, the family members, and me sitting calmly in the front row with her son.